There's never a dull day with Nottingham Forest as a bid has been put in for Omari Hutchinson. Welcome to your transfer news, and we're live. Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news. Coming up, we'll give you all the details on Omari Hutchinson. We'll talk to you about Sangare and his so-called departure. And maybe if we have time, we'll have a discussion about the Igor Jesus price and everything. So guys, get your hellos in. Make sure you've liked. Make sure you've subscribed. And a massive shout out as well to MK, who's already chucked in a coffee. Big up to you, Matt. Thank you so much. Becoming a member as well. You absolute legend. Right, what are you guys saying? Like, what's going on in the world of Forest, man? Nothing sits still for long. And we got to kick it off with Omari Hutchinson, the Ipswich winger. And I gotta say, I like this player. I like him a lot, in the words of Lloyd Christmas it is. But the tweet was sent out about half an hour ago from David Ornstein, Tier 1. He said, Ipswich Town rejects a bid from Forest to sign Omari Hutchinson. Forest's proposal for the 21-year-old attacking midfielder was £35 million. Talks are ongoing. If Ipswich were to sell the under-21 England international, it would take a higher fee. Brentford also remain interested. I mean, why is he wasting his time writing Brentford? Brentford, like Brentford, a competition. Look, I'll be honest with you. I like him. I think he's very good. But 35 million, I think, is an over-generous offer. It's I would say if you offered 25 plus 10, I think yes. Any higher than 35 is too much in my estimation. I don't know how you guys feel about it. It gets to the stage where, okay, so what are Ipswich saying they want? 40 million? A relegated Ipswich in the Championship? They think they can drive 40 million for a player? He got 3 goals last year, I think it was, and 2 or so assists. At that stage, you know who I'm going to say, go get me at Kliush for 40, 45. I'd rather spend that money. I think 35. Yeah, I do agree with the 1865. He hasn't been specific on the price that he's written. He said 35. Is that a package? Is that the starting deal or what have you? I don't know. But 35, any more than that, to me, is crazy numbers for a Championship player, which is technically what he is. Now, what I will say is that Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken, have a sell-on percentage clause on him. He's an ex-Chelsea boy. It'll probably be about 10, 20%, something like that. Exactly, Ben. Exactly. Get me at Kliush now. So I would be very happy with him, but it has to be a very good deal. That's the point here. Shout out to Danny Talksleeds. Big up to you, man. Big up. Hope you're well, buddy. So that for me is too much. I don't know what you guys are saying on it. I kind of do agree with you, man. He wins the league by himself. Brentford beat Forest. All right, cool. Like, can Brentford put 11 players out? I don't know. They did pay 20 million for him. Has he gone up by 15 million in one season for 3 goals and 2 assists? No. He also, by the way, had a very good Euros with the under-21 team. So, you know, there's a lot to like about him. Big up to Jess. She goes, I want Hutchinson. Wow, have we got Jess Hutchinson, Omari Hutchinson, #1 fan in the making? Shout out to Jess with the £2. But look, before we kind of break it down and look into it, as always, I've got you guys the article, sorted you out. Don't worry about the paywalls and everything. We got you covered here. So let's do this here. Ipswich Town. So this is Ornstein's full article on it. Ipswich Town reject Forest bid for Omari Hutchinson. Yo, Lefty. Don't make me talk to your missus, bro. If you're watching Mrs. Lefty, he's not behaving himself. Shout out to Lefty. Big up to you, bro. Gaza with the £2 as well. Is there a message on that? No message, but thank you so much for the £2, bro. Much love. Appreciate you for that, Gaza. Big up to you and the legend that is Chris. He says, evening, Wolfie, from a fellow golfer. My guy, bro, I need to get out on that course. Yeah, you've seen Lefty's gone very quiet suddenly in the chat. Mrs. Lefty has clocked it and he's in trouble. Love you, Paul, man. Love you, Paul. Hope you're not in trouble. Anyway, let's get into the article. Let me run you through it. It says Ipswich Town have rejected a bid from Forest to sign attacking midfielder Omari Richardson. The proposal was worth 35 million, and if a sale were to occur, Ipswich would demand a higher price for the former England youth international. Has he played for Jamaica as well? Would I be right in assuming that? He's cooked, Evan, man. That's it. Can we get a check in on Lefty, please? He's getting slapped down right now. Lefty, bro, you there? Lefty, talk to me, bro. Talk to me. Someone at him in the chat. I want to make sure he's okay. Someone check. He's half Jamaican. I thought so. He's Isaac, man. You're there with the knowledge. Love it. Anyway, he's still not there. He's still not there. Yes, big up, Azam. Hope you're well. Okay, anyway, let's get into the article. I'm worried about Lefty now. I can't lie. Shout out to you, Stephen. Hope you're well. Now, it goes on to say Brentford also remain interested in the midfield. Wait, telling us about Brentford, man. Brentford can't put together 11 players and they're telling us they're interested in him. Yo, shall I message Lefty? Like, seriously? Like, let me just, I gotta check up on him. Hold on.
They're rejecting 35 mil.
Hold on. Let me just check in on him. Let me check in on my boy, man. Hold on. Let me give him a quick voice call. Hold on.
Hey, bro, you alright?
You good, bro? You didn't get any beatdowns, yeah? I'm just checking you're alive.
No. What a message.
Say hi to the chat, mate. Say hi to the chat.
Yeah, I just bit of banter, innit?
You better hope I don't call your missus, mate.
No.
All right, bro. I'll see you in the chat.
Cheers,
All right, bye. All right, he's alive, chat. He's alive. Shout out to Wayne with the £5. He goes, I don't know who Ipswich think they are rejecting 35 mil. Bro, I agree with you. What are they on? I honestly don't know. 35 mil is a lot. That probably funds their whole season. There he is. He's in the chat. Big up to Lefty, man. He's alive. Anyway, let's carry on with this article, right? So, Brentford also remain interested. Omari Hutchinson and England under 21s laid down a marker at the Euros. The Ipswich attacker helped the defending champions make a confident start to the tournament and must have impressed clubs watching on. Hutchinson came through the Arsenal Youth Academy before joining Chelsea in the summer of 22. He made just 2 first-team appearances for Chelsea before joining Ipswich initially on loan in the summer of 23, before the move was made permanent in 24 summer for £22.5 million. Hutchinson scored 14 goals and provided 8 assists in 82 games for Ipswich, including scoring 3 times in the Premier League last season. Despite having previously made 2 appearances for Jamaica, here's the bit about Jamaica, he has made several appearances for England's national youth sides, playing in all 6 of the under-21s European games in June. Hutchinson been developed on the left wing throughout the tournament, scored in the final as England beat Germany 3-2. Okay, so not too much more in the article there, so glad I saved you guys some money. What are you guys saying? Like, for me, I think he's more a right-sided winger. He can play in the camera, but I kind of like him on the right-hand side. Let me show, in fact, I got some stats that we can have a quick look through. Let's bring these stats up. Right, so he played in the Premier League 31 games, and I don't care what he did in the Championship. The Premier League is way more competitive, right? 31 games for Ipswich last season, 3 goals and 2 assists, 5 yellow cards. And you can't quite see it, but on the right-hand side, he played as an attacking midfielder 17 times. That's where he got his 3 goals and 2 assists for. But he played right wing 10 times, left wing 4 times as well. Now, if you look at that on a heat map, I've got a heat map for you guys here. Let me just bring that up for you. You see what I mean? He's very right-sided, even though he's played a lot as an attacking midfielder. I think he would be a right-sided midfielder. Now, for me, this is interesting. If you're going to spend 35 mil, let's just say, and I hear what you're saying, Poison Soup. His stats don't say a lot about him. I think he's better than his stats, but I don't think he's better than 35 mil. That 35 mil is a stretch. Nusa is overrated, my opinion. Never really had the nut. Nusa is a baller, bro. He's just a bit injury prone. 35 mil. If that's 25 plus 10, I hear it. If that's 35 straight cash, I don't hear it. But what are you guys saying on him? You think Palace are going to win their appeal? Don't worry about appeal. He doesn't start. I get your point there, Curtis, but for 35 mil, that's a lot. Let's see what you guys are saying in the poll. Would you like Hutchinson at Forest? 58% of you are yes. 27% of you are with Ant on the fence, and 14% are saying no. There is that English tax. You're right. He doesn't count as a squad player either, because obviously he's only 20. He's 21, isn't he? So it's a free signing on the squad player. 14% of you would say no to him. Interesting. Is this more a replacement for Jota? That's not a bad shout, Brian. Not a bad shout, because Jota technically for me is a 10, has played on the right wing. Excuse me. That's an expense. You know what? If Forest are bringing him in as a backup for 35 mil, that shows a bit of ambition. That shows. By the way, Kitty, thank you for sending those articles through. I haven't had a chance to read them. Been at football training, but I've got them bookmarked and I will have a look through them. Much love for sending that through. Yeah, I hear you, Sci-Fi. He played on the left, but if we're spending that kind of money, McAtee or Elliot would be better. I think Elliot's about to go to, Leipzig, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I just look at it and I think to myself, I would take him. I think it's too expensive. Now, am I one who really cares too much about how much Forest spend on a player? Not really. Hold on, why am I getting tagged in now? Okay, you guess this means Yilmaz is out. I did warn you guys that those reports were coming from Turkey and they weren't that great. Make that 15%. I say no, he did fuck all for a relegation side, said Gordon. But do you guys not think he would perform better in a less crap team? You get me? Like Ipswich relegation team, not that good. He struggled, they struggled. I thought he played well against Forest, especially was it the home leg or the cup match? I can't remember which one. I agree with you, Brett. Luiz needs to come in first. We'll come on to that in just a second. So look, that's the Omari Hutchinson story. I'm getting mixed signals from you guys in the chat. I'm getting mixed signals. He's a baller, says Paul. Sign him up. Straight up, no hesitation. Look, you know the other thing that excites me about it? If he comes in, means we don't get Adama Traore, surely. Let's get into some of your comments. Paul's saying if we compare the MGW purchase with age and price, it's not a bad shout. A lot of growth. I hear you, but Gibbs White is coming from Wolves. I know he played in the Championship and what have you, but come on, man, they're a Championship team. They can't demand 35 mil. Curtis says he's not ready to start in the Prem. But technically, he started 31 times. He's got that Prem provenness. I don't think it's that bad a deal. My guy Pear Steve Nord. I can never say your name. I'm really sorry, bro. But much love. Thank you so much for the coffee. He's become a member as well. He goes, just joined as a new member. My guy with the coffee. Big up to you. Appreciate it. Per Sigvi. How do you say it? Sigvi or Sigvi? Appreciate you, Per. Much love to you. Dan says, get me Hutchinson and McAtee both. Yeah. Look, Forest need to splash some serious cash in this next week. We are still a long way off being ready. And here's Laurie, negative Laurie, saying, depends if he's a replacement or a backup, if this is instead of other players. I think if it's going to be a replacement, it will be, as someone in the chat was saying, for Justice Silva. I think that will be the key change here. Let's get Luiz. I'm down for that. Fofana, I'm down for that. Or Yilmaz, I say and Yilmaz, I'm down for that. Hutchinson and McAtee. Get me at Kliush, man. Get me at Kliush. Okay, he's a good player and will fit well. He can play 90 minutes as well. Will only increase in value. I guess so. I guess so. He's young as well, guys. 21 is still very young. He's still very young. Prem proven, you're joking when a team go down that easily. None of their players are Prem proven. Had they stayed up, then they would have proved themselves. I fully disagree, bro. Like, if let's have a look. Let me give you an example. When Middlesbrough got relegated, Juninho went down with them. Juninho was Prem proven. When you look at who went down last year, Leicester, for example, I think their keeper is Prem proven, and you could say Bilal El Khanous is Prem proven as well. Who else went down last year? I can't even. Southampton, Tyler Dibling, he's good enough for the Premier League. I think he's Prem proven. You can't just. I don't think you can blanket a whole team and say because they all went down, they're crap. If Spurs had got relegated last year, well, actually, they're all crap. So I'll give you that one. I'll give you, yeah, Delap, exactly. Good example there, Evan Delap. He's moved to Chelsea. So, you know, there's plenty of examples to say it. So is Dibling Prem proven with 12 points? Bro, that's not on him. He was injured for half that season as well. I am talking about his body. Are you now, Curtis? Are you? Frederick, my guy, with the 65, he says Ipswich may have to buy a new tractor and need the money in. That caught me off guard, man. Shout out to you, Frederick. Big up to you. But this is what I'm saying. When it gets to the Dibling stage, I don't think they can take 50 million for him. I think Everton put 27 for Dibling. That got rejected. Dibling would probably go for about 35, I reckon. And if I had to choose between Dibling and Hutchinson, I ain't going to lie to you guys. I pick Dibling every single time. But that doesn't mean I don't like Hutchinson. Shout out to my guy, Paul, with the coffee. He says, you've worked hard lately, and we appreciate all the time and effort. Enjoy the coffee. Much love to you, Paul. Thank you so much for the coffee, bro. It will go down a treat. I do appreciate it. Oh my God, there is some tractor emojis. Trust Laurie to find out. Relegated clubs are deluded. I hear that. Let me ask you guys, let's do a quick poll. Would you prefer Dibling or Hutchinson? Now, a lot of people say, well, Dibling, you know, did he really prove anything last season? He was injured for a lot of it, blah, blah, blah. Is he the right fit? It's up to you. Did they put a second bid in? Okay, I would rather pay 45 million for Dibling than 40 million for Hutchinson. How about that? What are you saying to that, Owen? What are you saying to that? Yeah, we'll do a poll, but yeah, get your thoughts in. There's a few Hutchinsons, there's a few Diblings in there as well. Dibling all day long. I now know who the purest footballers are amongst you in the chat. This is not one of them. I think Jess has just taken a shining to Hutchinson. I really do. Like Hutchinson, look great in the under-21s. Fuck Officer Dibble. Just don't know your football, bro. You don't know your football. Vote needed a third option neither. All right. I'm not doing the votes. Can't never vote. Heard PF any of them. Never heard of any of them. That's fair enough, bro. That's fair enough. Depending on the money, Dibling at 10 mil for Dibling, bro. You're dreaming on that. Let's see what you guys are saying in this poll. All right, 54% of you would go Dibling, and 46% of you at the moment would go Hutchinson. I'm starting to worry about your lot's football knowledge. I really am. I really am. And what's worrying me even more than all of that is that 700 in here and we're on 183 likes. More of you are bloody voting than hitting the like button. Do me a massive favor. Get those likes up. Get those likes up. We should be over 250. So hit that 250. Hit that 250. Okay, so that's the first story that I needed to cover off with you guys. Let's move on to the next one. Let me just get my right screens up. And we need to talk about my boy Sangare. So there's been all kinds of reports coming out of Italy today. Very mixed. I'll try and tie into this one with the whole Douglas Luiz stuff as well. So where do I start with this? So the expectation is, according to reports in Italy, which you always have to take with a pinch of salt. I got no inside track on this whole Douglas Luiz story, so I can't give you any kind of additional info on it, right? But the reports are that Forest are extremely close to signing Douglas Luiz. The sticking point still is the gap of about 5 million euros. Juventus want 40 million euros as a total package for the obligation to buy. Forest want to hold up at around 35 million euros. On top of that, there have been reports coming out of Italy to say, remember how I told you this would be a loan into an option into an obligation. When it comes to the obligation, that's what's being discussed, again, according to the reports. What they're saying is that Juventus want it to be based on appearances. So X amount of games played means that Douglas Luiz get triggered. Forest wants to make it harder by saying, you know what? Screw the appearances. If Forest land European football, if Forest win an FA Cup or a League Cup or some kind of trophy that then gets you into Europe, then that's what triggers the obligation. Now, I would say that's a bit harsh from Forest, because it would probably be easier. Let's just say Juventus is saying, okay, if he plays 15 games, it turns into an obligation. Okay, Forest can still play with that number. They can be like, okay, we'll play him for 10 games, see how he is. If he's looking crap, then let's have a release clause in January that if we don't like him, we can send him back. Okay, so that's one side of the story that's happening. Then there was counter reports to say, okay, Juventus are happy to do this sale with Forest. And when we're talking about 5 million euros as the gap, that's what, £2.5 million? They're saying, okay, we need to replace, what's his face, Douglas Luiz. Now, there were reports this morning to say that Juventus don't want this deal to go through until they found a replacement for Douglas Luiz, and that this deal could be stalled until the end of August before they're ready to let him go. I don't believe those reports. And the reason I don't believe them is because Douglas Luiz is not a prominent first team player, nor has he really been a squad player for them over the last year. So that's why I don't think that would be a staller. And if Forest are pushing it, we've got about 8-9 days left before the season kicks off against Brentford. I don't think Forest are prepared to wait till 2 games into it to then, deal with that. So that's one of the reports that came out. The next report was that, okay, if Forest get Douglas Luiz from Juventus, can we have Sangare in return? Because we think Sangare fits that profile of that midfielder. He can play that CDM role. He will be very good in an Italian league, etc., etc. So it wouldn't be a swap deal. You don't really get swap deals anymore in football because of PSR and things like that. So Forest would agree a loan deal in one direction, and then Sangare would be sold. Now, could that be favorable to Forest? Potentially, yes, because they wouldn't be paying anything up front. Oh, and by the way, the reports on the loan fee were about 10 million euros. So that's about 7-ish million pounds. So Forest would pay 7 million up front. They would sell Sangare for apparently a cut rate price, probably around 20 million pounds. And then they would end up with a net profit for that year until they then have to pay for Douglas Luiz the following year. Now, I've been speaking to a couple of our mates in Italy. They say that the people reporting on Sangare are not reliable sources at all. Chris, thank you for the £2. He said heard basically zero in the UK on Luiz or Sangare. There have now been reports on Douglas Luiz. I think it came out in the Athletic yesterday to say that Forest are interested in him, but they would have to break their transfer records to get him. But on the Sangare stuff, there's been nothing from the UK. So when I spoke to my mate on the Juventus side, he said the reports about Sangare, they believe are BS. And I agree with them, because all the messages that I've been hearing internally on the club is that everyone is extremely happy with what Sangare is doing. Just look at his performances over the last, few games of the season and into the preseason. He's clearly been our best player. So I don't think Sangare will be sold. There's a lot of idiots in here wanting Sangare sold, says David. I say if they want him sold, that's their opinion, bro. Like, let Sangare do his talking with his feet on the pitch and convince everyone otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, David, we know he's a baller, though. Big up to MK becoming a member. Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the channel. So that's the story on the Sangare stuff, right? So I still think that Douglas Luiz will come to Forest. Maybe there is some slight delay with Juventus trying to find a replacement. I'm not convinced by that, but I do believe Forest will get close on this deal. Now, the relationship between his agent and Edu apparently is very, very good. And Edu's been trying to mastermind this one. From the reports, again, they're coming out of Italy. So if that's the case, then Edu should be able to hopefully get it done. Wolfie, when is it getting done? No idea on this one, Evan. If I had to guess, it would be within the next week. It has to be within the next week if it's going to happen. So that's one thing, right? That's the strong kind of negotiations at the moment between Forest and apparently Edu and Douglas Luiz's agent. Now, according to all reports coming out, the agreement between Douglas Luiz and Forest is there. He's happy to join Forest. I know his stance was different in January, but right now, as things stand, he has no problems with joining Forest. Furthermore, there were Everton fans. Everton apparently was starting to sniff around again today for Douglas Luiz. Now, this might not be true. This might be a case of the Douglas Luiz's agent just trying to hurry things up along, or Juventus trying to turn to Forest and say, you know what? That €5 million gap we're talking about? We've just had Moisey on the phone. He said, don't worry about that 5 million gap. So there could be that gamesmanship happening with there as well. Okay. So that's the story there on Douglas Luiz and Sangare. I've kind of wrapped it into one. Does that make sense? Does that bring you guys up to speed? We better be here. Here we go before Gore tomorrow. Or Ant's going to go on a rant. Gore's going to be early tomorrow. I think 6:30 from what the boys were saying. So, yeah, we will have a Gore tomorrow. Guys, we're on 266 likes. Nearly 800 in the house. Take a quick second, guys. It's not going to kill you. I'll even put the graphic up for you. There you go. Everyone hit that like now. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new here. 5 million is 1 million on amortization. Absolutely right. It's no big deal. And it's a year down the road as well. You get me, Matt? So I don't think it's a big issue. Sangare just getting going after injury, and we need the depth. I fully agree, Phil. The other thing you got to think about is, like, look, everyone's been talking about how does he fit in? Do you drop Anderson? Do you drop Sangare? Do you drop Gibbs White or what have you? I think, look, in an ideal world, we're going to need to use them all with European football and all that stuff coming up. We're going to need a deep squad, and we can't have a squad where the gap from your starting 11 to your backup is like this. The gap needs to be like this. You got to be able to tag in a Sangare or an Anderson or a Douglas Luiz and be confident that the levels that the team performs don't drop. That's the key bit for me. It's like, And I don't know if we have that in any position currently, if I'm being honest with you. If I look at the left back situation, if Nico Williams can't play, I would only trust Ola Aina to play there. You know what I'm saying? On the poll, 80% of you want to keep Sangare, 10% want to sell him, and 8% are not fussed. The maths ain't mathing on that. There's 2% missing, but that's what you said on the poll. So I don't know where we have enough strength and depth. You could argue maybe at the striker position, you could say if Chris Woods is starting, then Igor Jesus is backup for him. He should be good enough, or vice versa. I don't think we have that cover on the right wing. I don't think we have that cover on the left wing. Currently, we don't have it in central midfield because you've got Sangare, Yates, Dominguez, who's injured, Anderson, and technically Gibbs White. You're playing three of those. I don't trust Yates to step in and be that level as the other two, so I think we need some depth in there. So that's the update on Sangare and Douglas Luiz. Now, the other update I quickly want to bring to you guys, which is something I forgot to mention, was about the draw in the Europa Conference League for Palace. Okay, so Palace have drawn Frankenstein or Midgets in the other team. Now, Palace or Forest will play the loser of that match, not the winner. That game is a playoff for the Europa League. So if Frankenstein win that match and Forest get the into the Europa League, which we'll find out, well, the court case is on Friday, we'll find out on Monday, then that team would join Forest in the Europa League. I'm telling you now, I do not want to face either of those teams if we get kicked back down to the Conference League, because I'm not confident we can beat them. I'll be honest with you, right? So it is now imperatively important that Forest don't get that, or Palace don't win their appeal. We need about 7 players, says Mark. I think you're not far off the mark, to be honest. No pun intended there. No pun intended there. We have to have playoff for Europa League. No. We don't have a playoff for Europa League. So let me just clarify this, right? Palace have drawn either Mitrovic or Frankenstein, okay, in the Conference League. On to what day is it? It was Wednesday. So on Friday, the CAS court case will be heard. If Palace win that court case, then they will switch with Forest and we will play the loser of that game. Okay? Now, if we play the loser of that game over 2 legs, I think the first leg is at home, the second leg is away, and we lose over the tie, then we're out of Europe. Full stop. Okay? Now, if it doesn't get overturned by CAS, and the expectation is that it shouldn't get overturned, right? But this is Forest. Anything can happen. Then we will be in the Europa League. There are no playoffs. We go straight to the group stages. The groups will be drawn, I think it's the 29th of August. Okay, so does that make sense? Now, the other thing that's coming out is, I don't know how true this is, but if they do overturn the decision, then Forest will probably appeal the decision being overturned. I think legally they can. I'm no expert on this, but because Palace snitched on us and brought our name into proceedings, this case had nothing to do with us. Let's remember that, right? It had absolutely nothing to do with us. And then Palace snitched, put our name into this case, and they've dragged us into it. So I believe Forest will have a right of appeal, which drags it out even further. Like, could you imagine this scenario, right? Palace win their appeal. Forest then go and play, let's say, Frankenstein. They lose to Frankenstein. They then win the appeal at CAS. They go to the Europa League. Palace end up completely out of Europe because Forest lost that playoff match. That would be just crazy stuff, okay? So that's the update on the Europa League. We'll find out probably Monday. I've got a sneaky feeling it gets leaked Friday evening after the case, okay? So let's see how that goes. The other thing I wanted to run by you guys was just very quickly on this Igor Jesus, Jair Cunha, the whole pricing, John Textor, Marinakis, conspiracies, Palace fans getting excited over everything. So, did you guys watch the video earlier? I explained it as best I could. And I just want to make sure that it was kind of clear. Now, again, it was my understanding of it, not what has or hasn't officially happened. Because to me, reading through all the articles and all the information, the prices they were quoting on Jesus were the prices that were agreed with Leon a year ago. And Texter is technically suing Texter to get Texter's money back, if that makes sense. Now, there is some other stuff going on 100% between Textor and Marinakis. As I said on the video, I think I said it earlier today, I don't want to discuss this till next week. There is a couple of bits and pieces about it over on Patreon. I don't mind doing it there because it's kind of behind closed doors. I'm just saying, buy Fofana and help Leon pay Botafogo. I'm down with that, you know. I'm down with that. And get we could get a couple of the Leon players. They got some quality there. So I think what I think it was John Percy said, the 10 million is the correct price. Okay, I don't think that this whole 31 million euros, pounds is correct. I hear what you're saying. You're saying you don't care how much we've paid and so on. The main reason for me is that if Forest had really paid 31 million for Igor Jesus, then why wouldn't they have gone in for Visser for 35 million, who's Prem proven, who's going to score you goals and so on? The risk to reward doesn't make sense. It has to be a good deal. And if you go through the articles, it talks about how Botafogo then had to sell at a cut price deal because of that kind of slush fund one bank account thing, to then allow Leon to kind of get some money, etc. How much are you willing to pay for Fofana? Bro, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Run that Fofana for me. I'll take him all day. This textile character is beginning to get annoying. No business in football, by my reckoning. Bro, there's a lot of information I've got on Textor, but yeah, let's wait till after next Monday. Let's wait till after next Monday. Brett says El Qudusiyya have some very good players. Will be a tough test. And they play on the front foot, so a good representation of a lot of Premier League clubs we play. Have some big names there and some have-beens. I think the Saudi League is being slept on a bit, man. I think there's some good teams and good players in there. So I do agree with you, Brett. I do agree with you. Absolutely, man. Do not disrespect Sir John Texter, man. Especially if after Monday we're still good, then John Texter is a boy for life. What are you saying here? What, Liverpool are in for? Are you saying Liverpool are in for Douglas Luiz? I mean, they might be. I've just come back from training my under 14, so I'm putting this all together on the fly for you guys. I'm not seeing anything. What I am seeing is Brighton have no interest in allowing Baleba to leave this summer. Would take over 100 million. Hold that, Man U. Hold that, Manchester United. Unlucky. Castle's getting all excited about it. He's getting all excited about it. Okay. I think that's everything, guys. Have I missed anything off? Yeah, they want Isaac. I can't see anything on there. You saw it early on Twitter. Don't believe everything you see on Twitter. Just a reminder, you guys all in the Discord, man. That Discord, man, I can't keep up. The Ads has joined in the Discord. Shout out to Ads. No doubt Poison Soup is there chatting away. There's Jay and now. I was wondering, Jay, where have you been, Jay? I haven't spoken to you for a few days. Hope you're well, bro. You lot are all chatting away in Discord. Please join the Discord. It's completely free. You can keep this conversation going. What are they discussing in here? Rejections, this, rejections. Curtis, as always, is in there. Ski is in there. Amit, big up to him. He's in there. So, yeah, get in the Discord. ! Discord. Keep that conversation going. Right, let's go raid someone. Who shall we raid? Who shall we troll? Instead of saying raid, let's say troll. Who do you guys want to troll? Not many live, you know. Not many live. Let's troll Ant. Ant will be on tomorrow night. We got Grumpy Old Reds tomorrow night at 6:30. Have I missed anything off? I feel like I've missed one bit of news off. Also, don't forget to grab your tickets for football prizes as well. They've got a signed framed Yates shirt. Good luck to you if you win that one. They got a Milenkovic and Morato double signed frame shirt. They got an Einar signed frame shirt. That's if you win that, I want to hear from you. The link's in the chat. Make sure you grab your tickets for that as well. You excited? Oh yeah, the away kit. So the away kit's coming out. Thank you, Em. The away kit's coming out tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm pretty sure it's the leagues one, which is that white one, that creamy white one. Not many live as they all part-timers, isn't it, Laurie, man? It's, you know what I'm saying? It's what they doing. So the away kit's 6 p.m. If that gets your juices flowing, I hear it, but it is what it is. Okay, who should we send you to? Who should we send you to? I can send you to Mont. I can send you to George. I can send you to Dan. I can send you to Josh. I can send you to Saeed. Apparently Talk Sport alive. Where do you guys want to go? Take your pick. You want George? You want George? All right, I'll send you to George. What are we gonna say? I'm not sending you to bloody Talk Sport, man. Screw Talk Sport, man. Why are you not writing Talk Sport? I'm not sending you Talk Sport. Why do you all want to go to Talk Sport? Do you think they read their chat? Screw Talk Sport, man. No, we're not doing Talk Sport. Shouldn't even be subscribed to them. Talk shite, exactly. I don't know. Let's pick one. I'm gonna go with. All right, but we gotta troll them. Like, what are we gonna say to troll them? We gotta do some trolly stuff. What are you guys saying? Gotta be full on troll. Me and George are going at it tomorrow on Potts' channel, by the way. Unless George chickens out. Sava's not live. Let's raid them and go on about. Yes. All right, let's do that. Right. Let's go to George and let's drop Greek Father. I just drop Greek Father in there. That's gonna absolutely vex him, right? Let's all go to George and just spam in there Greek Father or Maranakis. It's gonna wind him right up. All right, we're back tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Get Greek Father spammed in George's chat. Come on, you Reds.